This is Philip Martin, and this is On Film on Video for June 10th, 2022. I wonder if I've done that. I think because my natural tendency is to stop at 2020. I don't go 2022. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine that we're actually here, I guess. And here we are. This is a big week for us, personally. See the backpack? We are about to go to the Tribeca Film Festival, which is no longer called the Tribeca Film Festival. I believe it's just called the Tribeca Festival now, for the first time since 2019. And we have a long history with the festival, as some of you might know. We started going the second year of it, not the first year of it, but the second year of it, after Jane Rosenthal, the producer, sort of browbeat me into agreeing to come. I was really kind of skeptical. I really didn't think that at the time we were going to places like Palm Springs and Toronto, and we had someone going to Sundance for us. I didn't really know that it was going to be a good festival to add to our rota. And here we are 20 years later, and it's the only festival that Karen and I personally go to every year anymore. And we pick up one here and there sometimes, but Piers generally goes to Toronto for us and to Sundance for us. Dan Liebarker picks up True False, and sometimes Piers goes to that. And we cover the local ones, the Hot Springs Documentary Film Festival. But we have always made it a point to go to Tribeca. And one of the reasons, to be absolutely honest with you, is because it's just so much freaking fun. It's a lot of fun for us. I mean, I love New York. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. We know it pretty well. I believe this will be our 18th festival, 18th festival, because we missed last year. Okay, we went in 2019. It was canceled in 2020 because obvious reasons, COVID. And last year they had it, but they had it in the fall, and they had it in a kind of abbreviated way. They had it outdoors mainly, and all these COVID. It just didn't feel right, so we didn't go. Which I feel bad about, because we had this history with the festival, which they treat us well. We have a good relationship with them, and we want to keep it. So we're going this year, and I am really excited. It's only the second plane trip that we've taken since March 12th, 2020. It's hard to believe that. We used to have frequent flyer miles everywhere. We were platinum on a couple of different airlines, and now I think we have no status at all. It's like we have to go, sit in the back with our bags on our laps, to ride on an airplane these days. It's just like, but we're going. We're looking forward to it, and we'll be back next week. You'll hardly miss us. In fact, I'll be back in time to do this video next week. We're also participating in the Tribeca at Home program, which you guys can do if you're interested in the Tribeca at Home. Just download the app, and I don't know how much it costs, because I didn't pay for it. But you can, watch a lot of the films of the festival on your Roku TV or your Apple TV or your smart TV or your iPad or whatever. In fact, it's going to be kind of fun, because when we go to New York, I'm taking the iPad, because I've loaded the Tribeca at Home app on it. And we're thinking that, if it gets around 9 o'clock at night and we just don't want to go out again, which happens when you go to a film festival, because you're running around all day. If you see 4 or 5 movies in a day, you may not want to go out at 10 o'clock. I'm just telling you. And it would be nice to have room service and sit up in the room and watch the festival. Well, that's why I'm bringing the iPad, so I can watch, movies from via the Tribeca at Home app. So that's kind of what we're looking at. It's going to be fun. It's going to be quick. It'll be over before you know it. By the time, well, next week at this time, we'll have been there and back, which just seems amazing to me. I'm sort of... the thing about Tribeca, the movies are... okay, the documentaries are generally pretty good. There's always some interesting independent films, kind of experimental films. There's always some good foreign films, but you don't get the big blockbuster movies like you get at Toronto or even Sundance by Paris. You just don't. It's a lower key festival, and it's more experimental in a lot of ways than some of the bigger ones that we've been to in the past. I seem to have really bad luck with finding narrative features at Tribeca that I really, really like. The last one I can really remember was the Jason Sudeikis movie Sleeping with Other People a few years ago, and we kind of didn't expect that to be great. Hi, Paris. Paris is getting in her chair. All right. And it turned out to be really good. This year I'm looking at, I've got a few, I have not watched anything from the festival yet, which is really strange because I've been collecting screeners for it, and people have sent them to me, and I have not had time to watch them. The one I'm really interested in is the follow-up to the Killing of Two Lovers, The Integrity of Joseph Chambers, which reteams Clayne Crawford with the director of A Killer of Two Lovers, whose name escapes me now because I don't have any notes. But I'm really interested in it because I really was fascinated and really liked Killing of Two Lovers, and the storytelling in that movie was... it just hit a sweet spot in me, so I'm looking forward to that. I've got some other things. I mean, one of the things I'm looking forward to some of these docs. I'm also looking forward to a lot of the music stuff, though I'm not knocked out. I have to betray my bias. I'm not knocked out by the opening night film, which is a Netflix movie documentary, Halftime, about Jennifer Lopez and her preparation to do a Super Bowl halftime show. I'm just not... well, I'll watch it, and I'll see what I think then, which is always the best way to review a movie. You know, it's like you see it first, and so I will. At the same time, you know, I'm not thrilled about that. There are several documentaries that seem really interesting to me. One is called Rudy! A musical docu-musical. A docu-musical. Rudy! A docu-musical, which is kind of like a straight-ahead... Again, I haven't seen it, but this is what I gather from the notes they've given me. It's like a straight-ahead document of Rudy Giuliani's last couple of years and how he's sort of fallen from grace in the eyes of New Yorkers and other people around the country, intercut with scenes from an off-Broadway musical about Rudy Giuliani, which is... it's kind of gimmicky, but kind of interesting, and I would be interested to see the archival footage. Is one of the things I would really like to look at. There's Battleground, which is Cynthia Lowen's abortion documentary, which this time focuses on the anti-abortion side. I've seen plenty of movies that were sympathetic to the anti-prohibition, they were pro-choice movies. I have not seen too many that take the other side seriously. I mean, I think the anti-abortion opponents are often caricatured, and with not, there are extreme examples. The Westboro Baptist Church example. So this will be interesting to see how they handle the debate. It's a tricky thing. Alex Winter, who's best known for Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures movies, he's Bill, is also a documentary. He's a filmmaker. He's made some feature films too. But I've really liked a lot of his documentaries. He did a Frank Zappa documentary. He's done several on internet issues. He's taking on YouTube. The YouTube effect, which is timely. There's Rowan Farrow is executive produced a movie called Endangered about journalists. So that's of interest, fighting against fake news in Brazil and Chile and Mexico City and the United States, which I'd be fascinated to see that. I probably won't make it up to the Beacon Theater this time. The last time we were in, maybe not the last time, but one of the recent times that we've been at Tribeca, we went to the Beacon, which is in the Upper West Side, to see Patti Smith, who had a film at the festival. The Apple TV had a film about her. And we watched the film, and then she gave a little mini concert, and then Bruce Springsteen came out and joined her, and then Michael Stipe of REM came out and joined her, and it was just a, glorious night, and I wrote all about it, and we have pictures and video and stuff of that, which was really cool. So, but I'm not going to make it for Taylor Swift's All Too Well, the short film, which is going to be presented at the Beacon. I do wish I were. I wish I knew more about Taylor Swift. Let me say that. Taylor Swift is a very interesting artist. I'm not sure that I share the common view of her as a great songwriter. I do not quite believe that, but I do think that she's a very interesting personality, and it's something that I'm interested in anyway. There's the story of Little Baby, Untrapped, and the rapper's going to be there, and a Hallelujah, a Leonard Cohen documentary. There's a movie about Sinead O'Connor, and a show about the Reading Rainbow, the LeVar Burton hosted children's show. There's a movie about that. So these are the things I'm interested in. Sort of like the narrative features are fine, and I will watch a lot of those, and none of them, or very few of them, will ever open in a theater near you, if you're in Arkansas. But you might be able to catch them on streaming services. You might be able to, if you go to New York, which is one of the things I always do. I always check to see what's playing down at the Angelica. However you say it. I used to say Angelica, or it's Angelica. Okay, fine. See the cartoon about what a bad tipper Leonardo DiCaprio is if you visit that. They've got television series there. We saw a few years ago, the Jack Irish, the Guy Pearce Australian series. We watched the first episodes of that at Tribeca, which was really kind of a neat thing. The ESPN show The Captain about Derek Jeter is going to premiere there. Amazon Prime's The League of Their Own, which is inspired by the 1992 film. That series is going to premiere there. Let's see, what else? Oh, Somewhere in Queens, the Ray Romano movie, Vengeance by B.J. Novak, which stars one of my favorite actors, Boyd Holbrook, and J. Cameron Smith, and Ashton Kutcher, and Issa Rae, as well as Novak himself. So that's a movie that's, may break through the mainstream. The American Dreamer with Peter Dinklage, Shirley MacLaine, Matt Dillon, and Danny Glover, that could be something. Jerry and Marge Go Large, which stars Bryan Cranston and Annette Bening and Rainn Wilson. Okay. There's an Ashley Judd movie, My Name is Andrea. Space Oddity, which is directed by Kyra Sidrick, which is interesting. It's like Yeah, it was at Toronto. It was at Toronto. It was at Tribeca a few years ago where I got to, you know, buy Ethan Hawke coffee. It's really interesting stuff that happens there. It's a good time, but the real reason we go is to, you know, kind of maintain these contacts with one of the people I really love, IFC, and I hope to see the IFC people there. I know we're invited to a party. IFC, I don't think we can make your party because it's after we leave. I think it's on the evening that we're leaving, but I hope to see you there. I hope to see my friends from Oscilloscope. I hope to see a lot of critics. I hope to see, you know, just to get back in the mix, because it's been a long time since a lot of us have been out there and have. It's been a long time since I've been to a film festival. I guess, you know, we went to Hot Springs last year, so it's not that long. It's not that long. So, but I'm out of here, guys. We'll see you next week. Take care. I don't have a catchphrase. Cold Dog used to say, courage.